and welcome to this edition of News Leader on 6. I'm Jenny English.
And I'm Abigail English. In tonight's news, Motlow College has announced plans for their 50th anniversary celebration. A pioneer in local Tullahoma television passed away this week. John Gray will speak to the music director of this year's South Jackson Goes Country. Alderman Ray Noes will talk about his experience working on the launch of the space shuttle, and Lyle Russell from the Rec Department will tell us about the department's Walk to the Pacific program. We'll have these stories and more on tonight's News Leader on 6.
Keith Barnett here at Russell Barnett Chevrolet GMC in Winchester. Select Silverados will receive supplier pricing and $6,500 in rebates only at Russell Barnett Chevrolet GMC on the bypass in Winchester, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. And remember, why buy anywhere else?
Mayor Lane Curley is challenging Tullahoma area citizens to join him and walk to the Pacific, and you don't even have to leave Tullahoma. You can get fit this fall by putting one foot in front of the other and walk to the Pacific. You'll win prizes, get weekly fitness tips, and enjoy fun weekly walks with area personalities. You'll feel great getting fit. We want businesses, churches, families, and friends to form a team and join our Walk to the Pacific. Starts August 5th and ends September 18th.
You made the time and the sacrifice to broaden their horizons, to see their smiles, but mostly to make lifelong memories. We think it's time to do it again, just the two of you. Don't let illness or injury slow you down. The rehab team at Life Care Center of Tullahoma is ready to help you live well.
Welcome back. Motlow College is celebrating 50 years of being one of the South's foremost community colleges, one of Tennessee's top higher education institutions, and a leader of educational, economic, and community development in Middle Tennessee. During the 2019-20 academic year, stretching from August to May, the college will embark on a series of special events designed to provide opportunities for students, faculty, staff, alumni, and the communities of its 11-county service area to celebrate Motlow's past, while reminding the more than 600,000 people that live in its service area of past accomplishments and milestones. The college will also share glimpses into its aspirations for the next 50 years, hence the theme of the anniversary, 50 More. Motlow's celebration will feature a significant number of engaging community events, including a Family Fun Day on September 28th and the 50th Anniversary Founders Day celebration on September 29th. Both events will be held on the Moore County campus.
Motlow opened its doors to 551 students in September 1969 on 187 acres in Moore County. The land was donated by the Motlow family of Lynchburg. Because of this generous gift and State Senator Reger Motlow's contributions to education in Tennessee, Governors Buford Ellington and Commissioner of Education J. Howard Wharf recommended the college be named Motlow State Community College. Groundbreaking ceremonies were held November 26, 1967, with Governor Ellington, Commissioner Wharf, and approximately 250 persons from surrounding counties in attendance. Martindale Brothers, a Murfreesboro firm, was awarded the contract for construction of the original 5 buildings, almost 140,000 square feet, to accommodate 1,200 students. The college's service area counties at the time were Bedford, Coffee, Franklin, Grundy, Lincoln, Moore, and Warren. Since then, the service area has added 5 more counties: Cannon, DeKalb, Rutherford, Van Buren, and White, while Grundy County has been moved to the Chattanooga State Service Area.
50 years of serving students, partnering with business, industry, and 4-year universities, creating dynamic economic growth, and employing thousands of dedicated faculty, staff, and administration has culminated in Motlow being named the top performing college in Tennessee with an enrollment of almost 7,000 students. Many area students were committed to turning the dream of Motlow State Community College into reality in the mid-1960s. In this picture, visiting the governor are Morris Simon, Pat Lynch, Nelson Forrester, Reger Motlow, Education Commissioner Howard Wharf, Governor Buford Ellington, Senator Ernest Crouch, and Tullahoma Vice Mayor O.B. Carroll.
We are sad tonight to report that former Channel 6 on-air host Benny Garrick passed this life on Saturday, August 3rd at his home here in Tullahoma. Benny was one of the original founders of local television in Tullahoma, which began in 1990. He was co-host of the Tullahoma Living program and host of the popular John Olive Fifth Quarter Show. Benny, a star tailback for the Tullahoma Wildcat football team, was a Vietnam-era Air Force veteran and served for many years as commander of American Legion Post 43 in Tullahoma. He was well known in the business community and worked for Traders Bank for 42 years, serving as loan officer, member of the board of directors, and president. Visitation for Benny Garrick will be held on Friday, August 9th from 5 to 8 p.m. at Kilgore Funeral Home. Funeral services will take place Saturday, August 10th at 2 p.m. in the Kilgore Funeral Home Chapel with Brother Jack Heiss and Coach John Olive officiating. Burial will follow at Rose Hill Memorial Gardens. For those who wish, the family asks that donations in Benny's memory be made to either the Tullahoma Quarterback Club, the Eli Grow Foundation, 5 Loaves for Kids, or 5 Loaves for Kids. Stay with us. More news is coming up after these messages.
Don't stop believing, Tullahoma. Faithfully, Tullahoma Parks and Rec is excited to welcome back Journey Resurrection, a Journey tribute band that will perform free for the public Friday, September the 6th at Fraser McEwen Park at 7 p.m. The wheel in the sky will keep on turning, so bring your chairs and blankets. Cold drinks and food will be on hand, and you can have it any way you want it. We'll see you there, rain or shine. Resurrection, a Journey tribute band in Tullahoma. Friday, September 6th at Fraser McEwen Park.
Keith Barnett here at Russell Barnett Chevrolet GMC in Winchester. Select GMC Sierras up to $10,000 off original MSRP. That's Russell Barnett Chevrolet GMC on the bypass in Winchester, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. And remember, my question is, why buy anywhere else?
When your family suffers the loss of a loved one, the caring and compassionate staff at Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel are standing by to assist you in every way possible. We are proud to support local industry and offer only Batesville caskets. Many funeral homes don't own or operate a crematory. We utilize the only crematory in Coffee County. Your loved one never leaves Coffee County. We can accommodate any need and any budget. Consider our complete pre-need service to remove this burden from your family during their time of grief. Lock in today's low costs and protect from inflation. Tullahoma Funeral Home and Coffee County Funeral Chapel. Our family caring for your family.
Welcome back. The annual South Jackson Goes Country Show is coming up this weekend. John Gray spoke with Jerry Fox, who is the musical director for this year's performance.
So proud today to have the leader of the band, the South Jackson Goes Country Band for the 40th year, Mr. Jerry Fox from Wartrace, Tennessee, bass player par extraordinaire.
Yeah, okay. I'll take that. I'll take it. Thank you, John.
You've been playing for how many years? You've been playing music, Jerry?
I started probably when I was about 14, and I'm not going to tell you how long.
That's
I've been
long
playing.
enough, then, huh? Yeah, we old dogs. We don't need to tell everything, do we?
We can keep a secret or two.
You've done everything from you were in a band,
yes, sir,
early on, Bandana, which made some tracks,
yes,
nationally.
We were signed to Warner Brothers Records back in the 80s, and I had to look this up on Wikipedia yesterday, but we had 10 Billboard chart singles, 6 of those top 40, 2 top 20. I was fortunate to be a co-writer on the highest charting record, which went to 13 in R&R.
So this bunch, you're the band leader at South Jackson Goes Country Band, the 40th anniversary show, and tell us a little bit about the band that you've put together to come into our Civic Center for 3 days. You have some of the best studio players in Nashville that are showing up.
I think so, John. And I was honored that Miss Peggy asked me to do this. Peggy has that 1,000-watt smile, you know, that just, and she got me right there when she smiled. I said, "Would you do this thing?" So,
and what are you going to do with that hair? I mean, you got it. If the smile doesn't get you, the hair will.
Yes, sir. Well, a good friend of mine, Michael Young's a drummer. He lives in Shelbyville. He has a business there, and he worked studios back in the 90s, early 2000s.
Right.
Worked on the road with a bunch of people, and
well, he was a member of Great Plains, wasn't he?
Yeah, that was a band that he was a charter member of that was on, I think, Epic or Columbia, one of the CBS labels.
Epic, I believe.
Anyway, he toured with Gary Morris, Poco, Dr. Hook and the Medicine Show, Del Shannon, Michael Johnson, John Snyder, Tom Wopat, Cal Smith, Vassar Clements, Billy Joe Royal, Tom Paul Glaser. These
go
guys,
on and on and on.
the resumes on these guys, they were signed to Sony Records, Great Plains. That's Bill Hull.
Bill right there.
Let me tell you about Bill. He's played guitar in recording sessions or in concert for Merle Haggard, Mark Knopfler, Leroy Parnell, George Jones, Martina McBride. He played on that big hit that
Independence Day.
Independence Day. And most people don't know the title, but Let Freedom Ring. That's the chorus. Let's see. Marty Robbins, Pam Tillis, Vern Gosden, Tammy Wynette, B.J. Thomas, Radney Foster. Toured with Don Williams, Brenda Lee, Bobby Bear, and staff guitars from the Nashville Network Music City Tonight. He's kind of our first chair guitar player. And if they have Jimmy, I'll tell you a little bit about. Yeah, that's Jimmy Young.
Jimmy.
Toured as lead guitar and vocalist with Tommy Cash, Dottie West, Hank Jr., Danny Davis and the Nashville Brass, Christy Lane, among others. He's written songs recorded by Gene Shepard, Farron Young, Charlie Pride, Christy Lane, Rich McCready, Lori Morgan, Bailey and the Boys, Ernie Ashworth, and he produced 9 of Christy Lane's albums.
And he's playing as a rhythm player, but he's a whole lot more than a rhythm player. He's adding other lead licks. That between he and Bill together, it sounds like an orchestra, 2 people.
Let's don't forget Morris Hamby on keys. There he is. He graduated from MTSU's music industry program on a full scholarship in '95 and returned to graduate with a Master's of Arts degree with an emphasis in piano performance in '98. He's one of 2 full-time music educators in Rutherford County school system. He's teaching elementary, but his experience goes way beyond school. His performance credits include pianist, keyboardist for the musicals Grease, The Lion King, The Who's Tommy, Hairspray, The Sound of Music, Oliver, Little Shop of Horrors. He's
on and on and on.
He's currently playing at St. Paul's Episcopal Church.
And Morris has been involved with the band for the past, what, Peggy, 4 or 5 years. So Morris is not a stranger. And he's a very, very talented player, and he's sort of been part of the glue. Along with you've played this. You played last year.
Yes,
to hold the bands together and keep everything moving forward. So we're really proud to have Morris back with us this year. All you have to do, folks, is Friday night, Saturday night, or Sunday afternoon. The warm-up show starts at
on the ground, 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock on the ground. And the inside show is at 7. The warm-up show's at 7, and the main show's at 7:30. And that all translates Friday and Saturday. On Sunday, the warm-up show is at 1:30, and the main show is at 2. There'll be barbecue there. There'll be fun. There'll be a great band. Live commercials produced and done right there at South Jackson Civic Center. Never can tell what we might do down there. And about 80 performers and about 150 cast kids. It's fun. Come see it. Support South Jackson Civic Center for the 40th time. Peggy Burton's South Jackson Goes Country.
More news is coming up in a moment.
It's not invoice. It's not MSRP. It's not Christmas Day, although it may feel like it. It's the lowest prices in Middle Tennessee, period. It's a Stan McNabb Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram or Stan McNabb Chevrolet Buick GMC Cadillac before these prices are gone forever.
All right, the cat's out of the bag at Carroll Street Liquor in Tullahoma. Now you know where to go if you're planning a get-together and want the ideal wine or spirit. Party planning can be stressful, but at Carroll Street Liquor you'll find everything you need. Mixers, gift sets, and all of your favorite spirit brands. So if you're feeling the pressure to pull off the ideal party, come to Carroll Street Liquor and select among the seemingly endless supply of wines, spirits, gift sets, and more. Your perfect party, it's in the bag with Carroll Street Liquors.
Since the moment you were born, I've made 1,000 wishes. Wishes for your future in a world that's changing fast. Do play and laugh. Do win and lose. Do it all with confidence, kindness, and strength. And always do your best to remember that no matter what you do in this life, what matters to me is that you keep doing.
Welcome back. At the last meeting of the Tullahoma Board of Mayor and Aldermen, Ray Noes talked about his work with Microcraft on the launch of the space shuttle.
But my perspective from my career at Microcraft, of course, I went there to Microcraft in 1968, 9 months before the lunar landing, the first lunar landing. By then, everything that was going to be on that flight for the first Apollo landing, the Apollo 11, was already completed. So I can't say I touched those things because those were already in the hopper, ready to go in space. But by then, NASA was already using contractors to get the space shuttle ready for launch. Because the space shuttle was the way we had to get the space station in place in orbit around the Earth. So we were already looking at building test articles for the space shuttle. The very first significant assignment that I received at Microcraft, and yes, that was before Dan and Fran came back, was to build a space shuttle, the full stack. When I say the full stack, that includes the orbiter, the external tank, and the solid rockets. Putting that together in this was about a 2.5 foot test article that wound up being tested at the EDC. And so I became enamored with the space shuttle program from my personal experience more than anything else. And we had the opportunity to be on the shuttle, on the Apollo program. We had a significant role in the Apollo Soyuz mission, which was the last S-4B launch of the Apollo, which was the rendezvous of the Apollo capsule and the Russian space capsule in 1975. That was quite an interesting program as well. We were on the hook for building the docking module, the docking collar for that. Talk about, you said you worked all day on those programs? Well, our program was, if we couldn't get it done in 24 hours a day, we had to start working nights. It had to get to the Cape on time. The Russians are already up there, so we had to get ourselves there. So getting that on time was very, very critical. And with that, we were invited, the Microcraft employees were invited to view that Apollo launch and see that happen in space. That was in 1975. There was not another manned mission until 1981 when we flew the first shuttle launch. And one of the highlights in my career was to be at Cape Kennedy on a Sunday morning at sunup and see the space shuttle on that 3 miles away on the launch pad, gleaming white. By the way, if you ever see the external tank on the launch pad and it's painted white, it was the first launch. They never painted another one, too much weight. So they never painted another one, but that one was all white, spotlights from every direction on it, and then it fired, it launched. We were on top of a motorhome looking at it. Dan and Fran were there, a number of employees were there, and not just on our group that was looking at that liftoff to look around, and there was not a dry eye anywhere to see that awe-inspiring sight of the first shuttle go up. Well, but to have an opportunity to touch some of the things that went into space and to know how important that program was, it made my career meaningful.
We'll be right back with more News Leader after this.
Keith Barnett here at Russell Barnett Ford in Winchester. Check out the 2018 Ford Taurus, yours today for $26,992. That's Russell Barnett Ford on 41A in Winchester, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. And remember, my question is, why buy anywhere else?
Here at Manchester Funeral Home, we know the importance of living and working in our local community because it's those families who we serve during their time of need honorably. We believe in supporting local business and offer only 100% Batesville caskets, the best in the industry and a driver of our local economy. If you want straightforward and fair pricing while working with the people you know, choose Manchester Funeral Home, serving your community since 1932. And pre-planning and pre-funding can be the best gift you ever leave your loved ones. Call us to pre-arrange. Manchester Funeral Home. Our family, caring for your family since 1932.
Cool off at Southern Middle Tennessee's newest water park, Tullahoma's Splash Island. Fun for all ages. 3 25-foot water slides, lazy river, fun water features for toddlers, tasty food items available. All this and more, only $5 from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. or 4 to 9 p.m. Sundays, 1 to 6. Join the fun at Tullahoma's Splash Island.
Welcome back. Lyle Russell from the Tullahoma Recreation Department stopped by our studios this week to fill us in on the details of the department's walk to the Pacific program.
I love it when I meet Lyle Russell to come on this show because he does so many great things with Parks and Recreation. How are you doing today?
I'm good, Peggy. Thanks
I'm so
for
glad
having me.
you're here.
Appreciate it.
I know you got a lot of stuff going on, so I'm going to let you talk.
Yeah, sure.
What's happening?
Well, I'm going to tell you about 2 programs we've got coming up today. The first one is one that's getting ready to start in a couple weeks. It starts on August 19th.
August 19th. Is that what day is that?
It's a Monday.
Monday, okay.
Yeah, and it's our new Get Fit Tullahoma initiative for this year. It's called Walk to the Pacific.
All right, let's give the specifics of that.
Yeah, sure.
Where does it start?
So we're starting on Monday, and what you do is you get a team of 6. You have a captain and 5 walkers, and it's a virtual walk. We're going to retrace the steps of Lewis and Clark and the Corps of Discovery, starting in St. Louis.
That's impressive.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We're going to go from St. Louis, Missouri, all the way to, it's called Fort Clatsop in Oregon, which is where they encamped when they first saw the Pacific Ocean.
I get a flutter in my stomach thinking about what a thrill that must have been.
Oh gosh, I couldn't imagine.
I mean, wow.
So I read a really good book leading up to do some research on this because when I do the newsletters each week for the walk, I like to tell them a little bit about the history of what we're doing. So I read Undaunted Courage. It's the story of the Lewis and Clark expedition. It is fantastic, and you don't know what that whole group of people went through. And it was really, for the time being in the early 1800s, it was a groundbreaking group. There was a slave that went with them. His name was York. They had a dog that made the entire trip. York made the entire trip.
That's awesome.
And then, of course, along the way, they picked up Sacagawea, who was their guide. So there was a female Native American that went on the trip. And only one person on the whole thing died.
That's
the entire
amazing
time.
to me, because that was quite an adventure and quite a journey.
Oh yeah, it was. So the trail that we're going to follow is we're going to do the outward trail that goes from St. Louis to Oregon. It's going to be 1,866 and a half miles. So if you think about back then, 1804 to 1806, when they made this trip, they did that and then made the return trip. And they made it back.
And they made it back, but only losing one person.
That's
amazing.
Especially at that time. So we're going to retrace those steps, trying to get fit in the process.
Exactly.
So the program will be similar to the other ones we've done like that. We've done.
Are you already signing people up?
Obviously? Oh yeah. Registration is open.
They just call that number. Or go by Parks and Recreation.
Yeah, they can come up to Parks and Rec. The sign up is actually online, but if they give me a call at 455-1121, we can give them the link to go and register their team. But the idea is, of course, to promote a fitness habit and to give you something to walk towards.
And then they're learning history as they go along.
Yeah, sure. Like last year, we did the walk the Appalachian Trail, and we've done walk to the beach and walk to the state park. So we're trying to follow that same vein with this program too.
And so they're actually literally walking from where to where?
Anywhere. You can walk on treadmills, the greenway.
As long as they're having the steps.
Yep, and you just keep track of your miles, and you can do other exercises too. There's if you do, we have a list that goes with it, but some examples are if you do exercise classes like yoga or Zumba or any type of aerobics. There's bicycling, swimming. All of those things have a time conversion that if you do it for, say for example 10 minutes, that converts to 1 mile.
To a mile.
So if you're not a walker or a runner, but you're a swimmer or you're a bicyclist,
still get involved.
Yeah, you can still. We want everyone to do it.
Is there a cost to do this?
It is absolutely free.
I knew it was, but what a fabulous way to get a social activity as well as energy activity, and it's going to promote a lot of good things in you.
Yeah. So the idea, of course, is to develop a fitness habit, and then we're going to do the weekly group walks on the Greenway, on the new part. So for those who haven't walked the new part of the Greenway expansion, we're going to do our weekly walks on that, and those are going to be on Tuesday evenings. So you can come out and meet the other people who are in the program.
Is there a certain time limit on that?
No, we're just going to start at 6.
And
you can walk as far or as much as you want.
And as long as you want to.
Absolutely.
Stay with us. Your local weather forecast is next.
Keith Barnett here at Russell Barnett Kia in Tullahoma. Only 2 remaining 2018 Kia Stingers, up to $10,000 off original MSRP. That's Russell Barnett Kia in Tullahoma, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty. And remember, my question is, why buy anywhere else?
My wife Jackie has always been the life of the party, but things changed when she couldn't be as active anymore.
They told me I needed a double knee replacement.
It's not as big a deal as it used to be, but she still needed to go to rehab.
I was amazed at how good the therapists were at Life Care. They took really good care of me.
They took excellent care of her, and now she's back doing the things she loves, and that makes everyone happy.
Life Care Center of Tullahoma wants you to get active and live well.
We're losing it, Doctor.
Not on my shift. Quickly, brush. Roller.
What a transformation.
It's gonna be okay.
Okay, nothing.
At Paintworks of Tullahoma, we specialize in domestic emergencies with Martin Senior Paints. You can be the paint doctor too when you treat your home with Martin Senior interior and exterior finishes.
Doctor, we've got another one.
Got you covered.
Paintworks of Tullahoma. Come see the paint doctor, Stat.
Welcome back. We'll take a look at our weather forecast now, starting with our weather history on this day. Our record high was in 1930 at 102 degrees. Our record low was in 1989 at 50 degrees. Our average high on this day is 88 degrees, and our average low is 66. For tonight, look for partly cloudy weather with a low of 68. And on Friday, expect scattered storms with a high of 85 and a low of 69. And on Saturday, partly cloudy weather with a high of 87 and a low of 66. And that's it for this edition of News Leader on 6.
Join us here every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 6, 8, and 10. Good evening.